All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Maybe he stepped away. Okay, let's go on to Michael. Michael, what about you?
We haven't heard from Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson?
Let me like, how you guys doing? Good night. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah. Everything is just the guys. I agree with some of the guys' opinion on the situation. If we go from a biblical standpoint, in the Bible, Abraham had 3 wives. David had several wives. Solomon had several wives. Prophet Muhammad had several wives. So God intended for men.
Go ahead, Miss Millie.
I mean, this is what God intended, right? So if a man could afford to take care of his household and the woman as well, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because back in days when, let's for example, I went off to war, right, and to provide for the family, I mean, and I'm taking my brother's wife. You feel me? It just in recent time, the Western society kind of made a change. I think in the 1950s or 1900 when the Jewish, the Christian kind of changed the policy of what's supposed to be done with a relationship, make one man to one woman. But in the Muslim culture, you can have 4 wives before taking them, and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's my personal opinion.
Well, my question is, when God created man, he did not create 4 women to that one man. He only created 1 woman to that man. So how did y'all stray off to all this other stuff?
Remember, God allowed it to happen. Remember, if King Solomon had how much 700 wives? David, if he thought it was of God's own heart, right? And God allowed David to have several wives.
But you're not any of those.
Well, you know what is? I'm not. But if you ask my opinion, but it could still continue because the West. Hello.
We hear you, Jackson. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was saying the Western world kind of changed that concept. You know, because the East is going on, and the Muslim culture is going on. My best friend is Muslim, and we talk about it all the time. And as long as the man could take care of the household, nothing's wrong with it. You know what I'm saying?
So what if you was to reverse that? The woman had enough money to take care of the household plus 2 or 3 other people.
Well, God never
how would you? I understand what the Bible say. I'm asking you, how would you feel about it?
I don't support that. I don't. That thing is wrong. I mean, I don't think a woman.
But it wasn't wrong when you said the men can do it.
Because it's different. Because the woman, I don't think a woman could love when a woman
it ain't different.
The next time you go read them 4 people you called out, read all the way down and then read cross reference to it as well.
You heard the man say he into that sharing.
Yeah, I'm not into sharing. But
like, no. You looking and laughing at it because you feel like, ooh, I can have me 2 women. But the minute that woman bring a man in there, it's gonna be another story.
They just said it. It's okay to bring 2 women in there, but then if they was to do it the opposite way, they're gonna have a problem.
Exactly.
I'm not.
Just remember, it's a woman.
As a biased person, I'm not saying what I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. I'm just saying stop the double standard.
I'm going over a Bible principle, the teaching from the Bible. So if it's
man over principle,
if the Bible
over matter
had more women or scripture that women had multiple husbands and multiple men, I'll have a different change of heart. But it only shows the examples of great leaders had several wives. Prophet Muhammad, who wrote the Quran, had 4 wives. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, David had multiple wives. King Solomon had multiple wives. So if you can find me a verse in the Bible that shows a woman had more than one husband or more than one man at a time, and it was okay in God's eyes, maybe have a different change of heart.
Jezebel wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth.
But she was stoned, I believe. She was stoned because it was acceptable.
Believe.
The Bible says she was stoned, right?
Yeah, she was.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
No, we ask our opinion, and we using facts. You win an argument with facts and opinion, right? So if this is so, like for example, like Little Kim, right? Like her music she put out, right, in the 90s. People judge her based on her music, her lifestyle, right? But a man could say he have 100 women and change his life and still be respected in society, right? And could be a preacher. When you gonna see a preacher in church, a woman preach that, hey, back in the days, I had 100 men run and train them. You're like, damn, Sister Mary was that wild, right? But Brother Jackson had
a train, bro.
And brother had 500 girls.
Not a train.
It's a good message. God changed me. Let's send a love offering. We have
Nasty Jackson. Bring it back, Nasty.
Bring it all
Nasty
the way back.
Jackson, bring it all the way back.
I like his name. He got the right name.
Nasty Jackson.
We're going. Listen, this is facts. Dr. King had a side piece allegedly, and we celebrate his birthday this month, right?
You know what? I'm done.
Y'all have me. Y'all have me in here taking this off.
Nasty Jackson.
Y'all leave Dr. King alone now. Leave Dr. King alone.
These are great leaders. I'm pointing out great leaders who had.
I had a dream.
They had a dream. Jesse Jackson. If you can name some great, if you can point at some woman leaders who had multiple husbands or multiple men, we can have a debate. But I can't think of any.
Because we don't do the things y'all do.
That's right. Bring it on home, Missy.
Because man, we could love multiple persons at the same and still be able to lead.
Y'all bring Mr. Beard and Dr. Feelgood on in because Mr. Jackson is about to get it.
I know most women agree with
Nasty Jackson, I'm finna take it there. It says the woman who had 7 husbands in the Bible and the parable under Luke 20 and 27 through 38, it reads of the woman who had 7 wives. As I was reading, it
a woman who had 7 wives, Dr. Fabulous?
Husbands.
That's what it says. I'm looking at it right here. If y'all
a woman had 7 wives.
It says, listen. It says the woman who had 7 husbands, Luke 20 and 27. It goes on to tell, it does not call her name, but it says that this woman taught Moses, and Moses' brother died, leaving a wife and no children. And then the widow woman felt that she would take up the pieces. Now I'm reading this.
Her name was Sarah. Sarah's the one who had. Sarah had 7 husbands.
I don't know who it is, but it's not saying the woman. And this is coming from the United Presbyterian Church, Fort Morgan. It says, leave a comment, please, after finished reading. And I'm like, okay. So it is a woman in the Bible that has 7 husbands. And what it says, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the Lord of Abraham, it goes on down. But of course, I'm not reading it all. What do Zaza? Well, honey, all of this his stuff. It's there. I'm just not reading it all. But I gave you what it gave me up to the very top about Luke 20, 27 through 38. The woman who had 7 husbands.
Next, Nasty Jackson, read that later.
I will
read it later, Nasty Jackson.
And we can discuss next week. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. Dr. Feelgood, you got your hand up.
Yes, I know what Mr. Jackson was talking about, and we all, it's not just a man won't let a woman do what a man does in the same thing. Biologically, it's a difference. Anthropologically, it's a difference. Now, yes, there were examples in the Bible, both in the Old and New Testament, of women with more than one husband. There was also the laws that were laid down and not turned down by Jesus. However, what women fail to understand is men have an innate desire within them to be territorial.
Mm-hmm.
It's mine, she's mine. Not always right, but that's how men are hardwired. And it don't matter where you are. It doesn't matter from primitive to today's Western society, men are hardwired to be territorial. Now, to say that polygyny, a woman having two husbands, is not unheard of. There are people that are practicing that today, but the percentage of men who have a brother husband to the men that would have to women who have a sister wives are, I'm going to say 95 to 5. Not to say that, and this is not to say that it won't happen, but what happens is that men who are in powerful positions, in position of power, we talked about Jesse Jackson, we talked about MLK, we talked about, we can talk about Malcolm X, we can talk about Bill Clinton, we can talk about the last guy in office. We can talk about a whole bunch of powerful men. They don't actually go out and creep. The women come to them. Now, it's up to them to turn it down. That's where they mess up. That's where they mess up. They should have enough decency to turn it down. But the higher a man gets in status, power, because you could be rich and still be a schmuck and get no women. But the higher you get in the power position, that you can, your influence, women by nature are attracted to power and influence. Why do you think Pookie and Ray Ray, leader of the gang, got a lot of women? He ain't got no money. He ain't got nowhere. He living with his third baby mama. But he got women. Women come to him. And why is that? Because they perceive that he has something that other men don't. And that's what it is. Women can turn down booty. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Women turn down guys. Because y'all turn them down every day. It gets so bad, you just be like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Because you're looking for the one that gives you those tingles. Now, like, I can walk outside and 9.5 out of 10 women walk by me like I don't even exist. And I'm not a bad looking dude. So women, y'all can go out and y'all turning down 9 out of 10. You see the difference? And this is why that's why guys have a hard time once they get a woman, seeing that woman with someone else. Because we're anthropologically biologically hardwired to want to produce and ensure paternity of that child. Because I mean, people don't like taking care of other people's kids.
Well, question, Dr. Feelgood.
Go ahead.
Why can't a man claim it? do their job. You cannot sit here and say she's mine and you don't put in the work.
Now, like I said, you have a valid point. Like I said, the higher a man is in status, the less he has to work to put in. Because the young lady that was teaching over in the Middle East, what did she say that stuck? Men had still had more than one woman, and they realized that they had to compete to get his attention. In the West, we got it backwards. We trying to get y'all attention. How's it working out for us?
Let's hear from Papa Doc.
Hello, good evening. Y'all hear me? Okay?
We do.
Oh man, sitting back listening. It's been some good opinions. I guess I'm kind of hardwired like that, a little bit different like that as well, where I hear people talk about biblical times, men and women, and then you got what I call reality men and women, how things is. So my thoughts and a woman is, yeah, you can do whatever any man can do. It's your body. If you got hundreds of bodies, you got hundreds of, I'm not the person that judge a woman by how many bodies she got, because it's her body. Feel free to do what you want. So to go back to the topic, can you love two? I think you can love two. You probably can love more than two at one time. It's all in what your heart desires, what your heart allows you to do. And in my world, I can't let nobody else put a fence up to tell me how far I can go in my yard. My fence line is my fence line. So if my heart allows me to love more than one woman at a time, then that's what it is. And like you say, it's not that, for men, we're just dominant like that. And, I could say some crazy stuff like, well, wise men always have more than one. Really, sometimes it takes more than one woman to satisfy a man, which I know y'all not going to believe that, because I'm a woman and, I can satisfy my man and so on and so on. But
I believe that.
That's okay. But see, what I'm saying is that is your mind. That's what your mind is telling you. But how do you know that with the individual that you're with? Really, sometimes you need to ask that question that you're not asking. Am I completely satisfying you? Or, because sometimes, okay, you want the ring because you believe you're marriage material. However, that might not be the case in the guy that you want to give you the ring.
Interesting.
I have a question for Papa Doc.
Yes, ma'am.
If you say that sometimes it takes more than one woman to satisfy the man, if the woman, on the other hand, is expressive and she says that to the man, does that tarnish the male ego? Or would you go along with allowing her to say, hey, you satisfied me in this manner, however, you don't do it for me in this manner, so I'm gonna use Joseph to do that. Would you be willing to go along with that?
So, okay, kind of like two answers to that question. So the one thing is, where a lot of people can't really come together is the communication, and being able to handle the answer to the question that you're asking. So, you know, you come to him and say, you in your mind, it's like, I know I got this Negro, I got him, you know, and then when you ask him.
No, we're not saying the woman. I'm asking the man now.
As the man, right.
Right.
So
but you just said, the woman thinks she has the man. Well, the man thinks he has this woman. But in actuality, he does not. And so if they're having an open dialogue and she says, hey, you know, you treat me well, your finances are great, but you're missing a link XYZ. But Peter over here, on the other hand, he has that down pat. So would you still allow me to be with you because you treat me so well and your finances are so great, but XYZ is not coming up to par? My question to you is, would you continue to treat this woman the way that you normally have been treating her and still allow her to be with Peter to supply her other needs that you're missing out on? That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, so for me, as a man, you know, I could take that and be like, okay, am I willing to go that extra mile for her to eliminate Peter?
And that's not what I asked. See, you want to
okay, let me help you out.
So I'm missing. So I'm missing it. Go.
You
okay.
missing it. Wait. I'm gonna break it all the way down for you. Okay. You treat her, you treat the woman very nice. Your finances, your gifts, all of that is absolutely wonderful. However, you're not satisfying her in a certain manner, and she voiced this opinion to you and tell you, hey, you know, we have a great thing going. You treat me like a queen. However, I'm not asking you to bring it up or come up to speed. I'm saying, would you allow me to have Peter on the side to take the slack of what you're not doing? And the question is, now listen, you still got to treat her the same way that you've been treating her, because I need to know, will you allow her to continue to be with you and Peter? That's my question. That's a yes or no.
So
that's a yes.
Wait a minute. I heard that part. As I age, that's a yes. As I was younger, it would be a hell no. But now that I'm older, you know, my mind isn't trapped inside that fence anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because
so you done bent the wires back just a little bit.
Yeah.
So somebody can come in your yard. Oh, okay.
Somebody can come in your yard.
I'm just trying to get
but
it.
you gotta remember.
But you
gotta remember, I'm the big dog, and I'm always gonna be able to jump the fence. That's
okay.
That's
okay. Somebody to know. Okay. He was trying, y'all.
I have a question.
Dr. Fabulous is the one that
guys, I'm gonna be like
for you. He was trying to get around the fence. He wasn't.
But I have a question. I have a question for him. I have a question. So
yes,
if you can't please that woman in that one spot or whatever, that one place, are you man enough to let her know you're willing to learn so she can teach you?
Absolutely. And then once again, that comes with an age and a maturity thing, because in your 20s and 30s as a man, you don't get that. You start, when you get 40 and 50, you see things totally different in the mature stage. You would want how you value that person. So you're like, okay,
I knocked him off his socks so bad, y'all. He becoming robotic. Y'all hear that robotic coming out?
But unfortunately, unfortunately,
bad girl.
Unfortunately,
Bad
most men are not big enough to admit when they can't do the things they need to do.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like I say, that comes with age and maturity. Like for however how great I was in my 20s and 30s, 40 came along and said, hey, I'm not as great as I thought I was. However, as Dr. Phil, not Dr. Phil Good, but however, when you're a man of power, you're a man of stature. Some things you just don't hold on to. You be like, okay, you gotta let the bird fly the coop. Go get you another bird. That's all.
All right. Okay, Romeo, let me hear from you. I want to hear from Romeo.
Yes, because I was getting ready to say Romeo so bad, he twice as nice. He had his picture up twice. Come on, Romeo. I want to know what you got going on that you wanted to put yourself up twice.
Put myself up twice. I had it logged me out by mistake.
Oh, okay. I got you, Romeo Brown. Now, don't forget, Mr. Beard got his hand up. I know he got something. But Papa Docs, let me say, that is a great answer because you're at least willing. See, I was trying to show you the justification of men wanting two women, whereas when a woman wants two men, are men really able to put aside their ego and say, yes, babe, go ahead and get that that little young stud out there. But I'm just teasing with you because I try to stick to one. Okay, Megan. Anybody out there listening, Dr. Fabulous is a one more.
Wait a minute. So I have a question. Let me ask this question. So you
asking
try to
me?
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
polling the entire?
Yeah. Well, I'm polling the entire.
Okay.
But I'm asking you.
Oh. Okay. I'm listening.
What? Because all women say, I just want one man. What makes you stick to one man? Is it your belief or is it your belief from society?
Well, let me say this. Sometimes, and I'm speaking true from the heart. When you love, I'm going to say, when I love someone and we're together as a unit, a partner, husband and wife, sometimes, the devil will sneak in the back of your mind, but then you think about it, you say, because I took this man for better or for worse, richer or poor. But of course, I want to stay on the richer side, God, knock on wood. But anyway, my cousin Anson was here. He would really say something, but all jokes aside, when you love someone, you tend to deal with things more so when you don't love an individual, because when you take those vows and it says till death do you part, or through sickness and in health, richer or in poor, you're supposed to be standing on what you took before man and before God. So with me, it would definitely come from not society, but from within myself for loving the individual that I'm with. So did I answer that for you right, Dr. Papa Docs or Papa Doc?
Yeah, you did, because
I made you speechless. I know. I made him speechless, y'all. Again. I made him speechless. Twice.
Hey,
you got to
let me say this
in the morning to mess with Dr. Fabulous.
Hey, let me say this. You might have made me speechless, but you ain't take my manhood, so I'm still good, man.
All right. Listen, I ain't never gonna take your manhood. I'm gonna let you have that. Oh, Nasty Jackson, you over there smiling and walking. What you doing, Nasty Jackson? I mean, somebody must be telling him something wonderful. He's showing all of his teeth. Mr. Beard, your hand is up. We will not overlook you, Mr. Beard. Come on. Nasty Jackson, stop all that smiling.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be as short with this one as possible. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's different type of people out here who go for different things. I don't know if it's maturity or it's just personal preference. Me personally, based off the scenario you just gave on Papa Doc, I ain't going at all. If Just
you
like
say
a
you're
woman
not
can sit back.
going, no, no,
I ain't
no.
going.
Wait. You say you're not going. She
No,
don't want you to go. She wants you to stay.
Yeah, but she want to go play. So if she want to go play, she got to go play.
No,
She
no,
just can't
no,
play
no,
with
no.
me.
That's let me give it to you one more time. You
Okay.
treat her well. She feels you're her king. You do everything, but it's being that told you about it. You talked about it, but it just didn't get any better. Are you saying that you're willing to give up on her and let her go because it's one thing that you're missing, not her, you're missing it. You won't allow her to pick up that added extra. You would rather let
From
her go.
somebody
See how I make him
somebody
go
else.
robotic, y'all? Even he going
No,
robotic.
I ain't robotic. I'm right here. I ain't
Oh,
robotic at
okay. Well,
all.
you
I'm
went
right
out
here.
on me for a minute.
From somebody else. That's what she's saying. She gotta go. I ain't going. I'm sorry. It's to me,
So
it's no different
go.
than, I'm trying to have all the qualities. Huh?
You gonna have all the qualities.
To
You
me,
gonna make it
it's
right.
no different from, yeah. No, hey, if I ain't got it, then I ain't the one for you. I mean, I see women do that to dudes that they dating at any given time. And you know what they do? They hop up and they pop smoke. Because we have this conversation tonight, like women ain't out here sliding, creeping, and getting what they want. They just being a little bit more secretive about it, and it's more known that men do it. But if I can't give you what you got, and your own option is, hey, you need to be able to settle down and let me get this from old buddy, then it sounds like you and old buddy need to take up all the slack, because I'm not gonna do 90% of the work and you go give him all the benefits for the 10% he kicking in. Women do that. They tell us all the time that, you're not fulfilling what I need, this and this and this. If I can't give you what you desire, then I'm gonna go on by myself and find somebody else. So as a man, I ain't finna take that L either.
All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts, Mr. Beard. I appreciate that. All right, Romeo, you got your hand up. Come on, Romeo.
All right. How y'all doing tonight? So basically, I'm gonna speak from the position of like the human nature. So at the end of the day, like a man could have 7 wives and he could get all 7 of them pregnant at the same time, and there will be no question of paternity. A woman has 7 husbands and she's having intercourse with all 7 husbands and she gets pregnant, there's going to be a question of paternity. So by nature, it would be taboo for a woman to have 7 husbands. Also, in addition to that, like a man can have multiple wives and he could please all of his wives like through the course of however long. But like a woman, she has to take a week off to have her menstrual or whatever the case may be. So her body is not equipped to take multiple men like in a natural setting. So I think, like, in my opinion, I feel like God was purposeful about setting things a certain way, aside from scripture. So that's the standpoint that I'm speaking from.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Romeo. But can I tell you something? And I know some people may think it's really bad, this and that and the other. But there have been instances where some women still have or make love during their cycle, their menstrual, because if you want to look at it in the Western culture, that's when they feel the woman is most fertile, but when they're cleansing. So just because they have a cycle, that doesn't mean that they can't stop making love. They can still make love while they are having their cycle. It's just depending on the two individuals that's coming together as one. So
I mean, you're absolutely right. And at the end of the day, like, we all have the right to do whatever we choose to do. But like, if a woman's body is cleansing, naturally that wouldn't be the time for her to be having intercourse. Her body is cleansing. Like a lot of times, like that brings about a lot of bacterial infections, UTIs and things of that nature, because her body is trying to get rid of
it's trying to
the months.
cleanse.
So if you're forcing it back up in there, you're disturbing the natural order of things. I mean, it's a choice still, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm speaking from the natural order of how the body works. Like it just, that would go against nature for a woman to have multiple men versus a man who can actually have sex with a woman, have sex with another woman, and there will be no question of paternity in the man, because at the end of the day, those are his wives or whatever the case may be, versus a woman who has multiple husbands. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. But I thank you so much, Romeo. I thank everyone for sharing. I have not heard from iPhone 63818. Can you hear me? And Dream, I'm coming to you before tonight is over with. iPhone 63818, are you with me? Well, I'm gonna jump down to Al Will 41. Are you still here, Al?
Slightly.
You say slightly. Well, don't fall off now. You wanted to share your thought when Beard was talking earlier, but okay, well, I guess you having a time where you are because you got some background, but you're more than welcome to type in the chat what's really on your mind, and we will definitely answer your questions for you. Adrene, are you here?
Yes.
All right. What are your thoughts, Adrene?
This was definitely enlightening. I feel like I learned a lot today. It was like going to class. I think there's many perspectives on this, and definitely I do think it's a Western construct, but because I've been a part of that construct for so long that I am definitely conditioned to, I don't think it's that you can't love more than one person, but I feel like for me, you need to make a choice. So I'm gonna choose to be with the person that wants to be with one other person.
So Adrene, would you say you're like Dr. Fabulous, you're a little selfish and you're not willing to share, at least not know you're sharing?
No sharing. But it was enlightening. It was very interesting. I listened to all the perspectives. The women for Dubai, that was very eye-opening. But yeah, I definitely agree with them. I feel like, and I do see the double standard in it, and I don't buy any of the explanations for the double standard. None of it really computes in my world, because I just feel like all of it, I know it might go back to biblical times, but at the end of the day, why are we still in biblical times if we're in a modern society and you're using old excuses for not accepting something that you're willing to do freely?
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was a very good conversation.
Yes, and like I said, I appreciate everyone for coming on. Is there anything else, Special K, Lady T, Dr. Feelgood, that you all would like to share?
I would just like to say this conversation tonight was really good. I love hearing the different opinions, and especially the point of view from the men on this topic. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight, coming on and joining in, and I learned a lot of information tonight on this.
Okay. Dr. Feelgood.
No, this was pretty interesting. I was gonna have a case study, but I had already said most of my piece during my answers.
Okay. Lady T, you stepped away. Are you available?
Yes, I'm here. I just want to say thank you all for coming. And if you have a hot topic that you would like for us to discuss, please put it in the chat. But I feel that people should just live. I would never go by the standards of the world. I think you should live and love and, just be happy. So thank you.
I totally agree with you. Yes.
Well, all right. Well, everyone, I always thank each and every one of you for coming, even if you're getting your hair cut while you're um, on our podcast, because you know I'm just loving that old Nasty Jackson. He just do it all,
Yeah, whatever.
anytime, anywhere. And Leanne, next week we're gonna let you get on top of old Nasty Jackson.
No, I'm just saying he got his views and I have mine, so we good.
All right.
We good.
So everyone, I'm going to say thank you so much for coming on. I am yours truly, Dr. Fabulous. And if this was your first time, please don't let it be your last. And every week it's going to be something hot to discuss and to talk about. And I'm going to sign off with my favorite, you know what? Guess what? Smooches. Mwah. And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.